quote which I recall: journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. UPSC is not a journey that today you wake up and all of a sudden you decide that I want to clear this exam. That never happens. It is a gradual process. It is UPSC is a mindset. Okay, so you have to adapt to the mindset. So if you're not able to give 5 hours of time, give 3 hours, but give it. No matter whether you have a function in the family or you have some disaster happenings, give. If you have promised yourself that I will provide this 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, whatever, then you have to be truthful to yourself. It is quite difficult. Of course, if you say that I want to prepare, I want to become an officer because I want to serve the country, I want to serve the society. Everybody says that.
Yes, sir.
The point is that why you? Why the board member out of these 3,000 students who are appearing in the interview stage? You know that the vacancy is less than 1,000. It's hardly
Yes.
a 700, 800 only. So just imagine that means 3,000 students who have qualified for the interview, mentally they are equal. So the chances of getting selected in the final list is 1:3. So let's say there are 3 candidates. Out of 3 candidates, 1 candidate will be selected in the final list. So if everybody, 3 candidates will say that I want to serve the nation, I want to serve the, because in the marks, definitely the marks would be like 1 or 2 or 3. Those who have not good marks, they will not be in the list. But all of the students, at least this out of these 3,000 students, I assume that majority of the students, everybody is serious. Otherwise, they could not have gone to the such stage, because clearing the mains examination means that's a huge different level. You have so much of knowledge. That is the reason why you could clear this exam, at least the main stage. So the correct motivation is the key factor to really come out and stand out of this 3 candidates who are appearing in the interview.
Yes,
So I do not know what could be the correct motivation for you in particular, that you have to figure out. Correct motivation could be, you are, let's say for example, if you are looking at your own society nearby, or maybe in your own state, if you feel that there is something lacking which you could have done in a different way, and let's say you want to eradicate superstition. As an IAS officer, I would like to empower the women. uh, those are the factors, the real motivations that should come from inside you. Okay, Kunal. So
yes,
another thing, why the motivation is the first criteria before you prepare, even think for preparing the examination. Because see, UPSC is ultimately, it's not a physical test, it's a mental test. And
yes,
you see that there are many people who have lost their journey. Let's say somebody is not able to clear the exam in first attempt, then another attempt, and they ultimately exhaust all the attempts. If they are not from reserve category, then if general category, then that is going to be a huge problem. So the point is, see, you know that if something we like truly, if we love truly, nobody has to tell us that you follow this, isn't
yes,
it?
sir.
If we love something truly. So similarly, if you have decided passionately that yes, this is my right motivation, this is the reason why I would like to pursue the civil services. So this will act you as a fuel. This will act you as a fuel for the 1.5 years of journey. You see, preparation is for 1 year,
Yes,
then another, the pre-mains and interview stage is another, more than half 6 months of journey. So, in a nutshell, you can say that approximately 1.5 to 2 years of journey entire this UPSC preparation. So this is not a small thing. This is not a banking examinations that 3 months, 4 months, 6 months after that you give the exam, then you clear it. So when you have a right motivation, that is, I want to crack this examination because I want to do this, then automatically it will act as a fuel to you. Okay, there will be so many low moments. I myself had low moments in my during preparation, and I have seen all of these aspirants. They also had a very low moments. Sometimes you will feel that no, this is not my cup of tea. Sometimes you will feel that so much of thing I am not able to understand. Sometimes you will feel a lot of anxiety that why it is not happening, why I'm not able to remember the things, why my other students or my other classmates members, they are able to answer these questions, but I am not able to answer. It is natural. We are not robot, we are human beings. So these are some of the low things. Or sometimes, nowadays what is happening, societies also, or maybe, the colleagues also might be, your friends, we attain at a certain age where all of our friends, you will be seeing that they are growing a lot, they are, earning a lot, but however, I am stuck with my UPSC preparation. That also
Yes,
another
sir.
factor. So sometimes, you feel like frustrated, sometimes you feel like with having a lot of anxiety, but that is natural. If human being is a human being, because we have emotions, isn't it? That is a natural process. So if you have a right motivation, that yes, I want to crack it because I want to do these things, I want to solve this particular problem. So no matter how much difficulties or disturbances or noise you hear around yourself, you will slowly come out of it. So always keep in mind, I still recall there was a small story which uh, is yet impactful. You see, when there is a cloudy season, because of the fearful factor of the cloudness, when heavy thunderstorm or cloud, all of these birds, let's say crow, or all of these small birds, they will somehow find a place to hide.
Yes, sir.
But what eagle does, instead of coming under the cloud, eagle flies above the cloud. That means eagle, I mean, what is the learning lesson? I'm just giving you simple things. The learning lesson is that we will never allow the situation to suppress us.
Two suppressors. Yes, sir.
है ना? So if we are succumbed to the situation, that there is a bad situation, that is the reason I want to leave my study, then that is not the correct attitude. We have to act like eagle. We have to suppress the situations, not the vice versa. So, when we have that enthusiasm, when we have that energy within ourselves, frankly speaking, half of your marathon is done here. Half of your marathon is done, because the rest of the things is understanding and learning, enjoy. So fall in love. So
Yes, sir.
whenever I discuss with these things with a majority of the aspirants, I always say that preparing for UPSC is like, in a first love.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you badly want it, isn't it? You fall in love and with all of the subjects, and you want to. There is a restlessness among you in particular. I mean, as a UPSC aspirants, all of us, that yes, if the subject is not completed, sometimes it will be happening that you wake up in the midnight and then you try to just think that how can I clear the all of the NCERTs within 24 hours.
Yes, sir.
That is that energy which we must have. Okay, so
Oh,
now coming to the particular question about your timetable, I think there are some other students. Rasmi, good evening. Daisy, good evening. I hope you are not
Good evening,
bored.
sir.
Rasmi, good
No,
evening.
sir, no.
Good evening, sir.
I hope you are not bored. We are just discussing about because Kunal asked us very important question, sir. What should be the timetable? I think this is applicable for everyone.
Sir, I guess it was quite motivating. I listened that eagle story that we should fly over the cloud, and that's true, very true. And I think Kunal, each and every the individual's life is not full of coziness. If you want to do something, we have to come out from the comfortable zone anyhow, whatever your background is. And yes, we had been here to, like, you think it as a that one is trophy which is going to be get after 2021-22 UPSC clear, and this is the only time we can do it. And I think we should thankful to the situation, pandemic situation, that it is actually giving a very good advantage. So it is that high time that we can utilize as much as energy we can. and that this is what we can do from our side.
Got it. Great. So now, so you have to fall in love with UPSC. Okay, you have to fall in love with the UPSC. Otherwise, UPSC won't love you back, isn't
Yes.
it? So now the coming to your particular question, sir, how we should plan our study. This is a very important question. I think majority of the aspirants, they are not able to figure out, because everybody talks about what is polity, what is history, what is geography. They will come and they will teach you the subjects. But what is the way in which I should go? You know,
Yes, sir.
sometimes more than destination, we should enjoy the path. So UPSC journey is like this. Now, whether you clear the exam or do not clear the exam, that is a secondary matter.
Secondary matter.
But you should enjoy that path. You should enjoy the time you are spending for this particular UPSC preparation. Now, to answer particularly your question about the timetable, first of all, I assume that you are, all of us, I mean, all of Rasmi and Daisy and I think other students will be joining. So you are going to appear for 2021. I think 22.
2 sir.
2022. So for 2022, I understand the exam will supposed to have in the month of June, though they have not notified. But as a regular practice, that is how we are getting to know that they might do this particular exam in the month of June 2022. Let us have a benchmark. Now, if the exam is supposed to be having on 2022, the month of June, so you are exactly having 13 months time. I
Yes,
think
sir.
not till 12 months time. It's June 1st, June to June. I'm just, taking that count. So you are exactly having 12 months of time. Okay. Now, you have to know your syllabus. You have your GS1, 2, 3, 4 paper. What is your optional, Kunal?
Sir, I have not decided the optional
You have not
yet,
decided.
sir.
And
Yes,
what
sir.
about Rasmi? What is your optional?
Sir, medical sciences, as
Medical.
yes, sir.
So in this 12 months of time period, you need to complete your syllabus of general studies as well as your optional paper.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, there are a couple of things which I would like to highlight to all of you. The mistakes, the general mistakes or mentalical mistakes which are done by majority of the aspirants. Number one mistakes that they think we should first start preparing for the prelims exam. Then once we clear the prelims exam, then only we will go for mains exam. So my dear, all of you, remember one thing, there is nothing called as prelims exam. If you have to prepare for something, it is the mains only. So any serious aspirants I'm talking about, any serious aspirants, they never prepare for prelims exam. They always, the target is to clear the mains exam.
Mains.
Why I'm telling you? Because the syllabus of the prelim is a subset of the mains syllabus. So by default, if you are preparing for the mains examination, you are also preparing for the prelims examination. But what is the difference between prelims and mains is not in the syllabus. Of course, mains has more syllabus, but I am talking about the portions of the preliminary examination. So the main difference is the approach of the questions. In the mains, you have like subjective way of answer writing, but in the prelims, you have a different approach, that is MCQ patterns. So the right approach to prepare for the examination of UPSC is to start with mains examination, not prelims. Okay. But when you should focus, you have to focus your more to prelims just 2 months before the prelims exam. That means, let's say, for example, you are giving in the month of June 2022. So you may switch your entire preparation mode to prelims just 2 months before. Maybe I think April 2022. So from April 2022, you should dedicate yourself to the prelims examination.
Prelims
So what
exam.
is the dedication of prelims examination? Is nothing but solving MCQ questions. That is the orientation you should have for your prelims examination. So up to, I think, March and April 2022, your focus has to be mains examination. Okay? Because once again, I'm telling you, preparing for mains means you are preparing for the prelims. So that doesn't mean that you are not preparing for prelims, because syllabus is a subset of the mains exam. So now, almost if I can count, you are having 9 to 10 months of time for your main syllabus, your 4 general studies paper, 1 essay paper, and you have your, for example, optional paper. Now, how you should start with this 9 months? Again, the confusion, there are certain things which I have observed in the aspirants, that they forget the optional altogether. They think, once I clear the prelims exam, because optional is only the part of mains, so I should not start my optional paper. So my dear, all of you, remember one thing: optional is a deciding factor whether you are going to get a rank or not. Okay, so if the goal is just to clear the exam, you can get like group B positions also. So the goal is not to get 700 rank. The goal is to get into the top 100.
Top 100.
So if you target for, let's say, top 10 or top 50, then only you can achieve top 100. But if your target is already that, yes, I just want to clear this exam, let's say, for example, you are getting like some group B services. I mean, I'm not saying that group B services are bad, but what I'm trying to say is that, your orientation, your target has to be higher. So when you target for, let's say, top 10 or top 50 at least, then your optional preparation, you have to give importance. Let me give you a statistics. Do you know that all of this top 10, those who achieve, I think in the internet, it's in the UPSC website is also, it is free of, I think, available, open to all, that how much mark each topper has got. At least the rank 1, 2, 3, you can get it. Last 3 years, you pick up these figures, you will get to know that the rank 1, 2, 3 holders, they have got the percentage of mark only between 50% to 60%. That's it. That means if you are able to get the percentage of mark within 50% to 60%, you can be a topper. Just imagine, this is the level of competition. So the target is not to achieve 100%. The target is to achieve how to be within that 50% to 60% of marks. That is where you have to focus on. Okay. So now what you need to do, you have to start your GS preparation and also optional preparation from now. You should not delay your optional preparation later on. That's our once I complete the GS syllabus, then only I will start. It's okay if you have not decided now. I understand you might take a little bit of time to decide, but at least you should start preparing for this exam, both for GS, both for optional. And now we have just started our classes, and gradually what will be happening, you will be having like 5 days of classes and 6 days of classes. Sometimes we will also have classes on Saturday and Sunday. We will inform you well ahead of time. If you are available, then we will do those classes. So slowly, there are other teachers of geography, of history teachers who have been into UPSC. We do have other teachers for the UPSC batch as well. So they'll be taking also classes. So classes are okay. You are coming here, spending 2 hours or 2.5 hours. That is okay. But what is most important, see, I cannot guarantee that you have joined this academy. That means I cannot guarantee that you will clear this exam. I never claim this one. Okay. But what I can claim, what I can give you, my experience, my own personal experience, as well as the experience which I have, gathered while making the students learn. I can be a mentor to all of you. I can only show you the path. How you walk, that depends on you. So that is my role. Okay. So now, as you have a 9 months of approximately time, you should probably start your preparation for GS. Already the classes are going on. So to supplement the classes, you should pick up any subject. Let's say you have some core subject: history, geography, economics, and polity. These are 4 core subjects. Pick up any one subject and have target to complete that subject within a time frame. Let's say you are giving that I will complete. I'm talking about self-studies. Okay, classes will go as it is. I'm talking about self-studies. So if you pick up a subject, let's say already polity is going on, so do not pick up multiple subjects. If you start preparing for all the subjects, nothing will happen. So only one subject, either history or polity or economics. Let's say you are choosing history because history requires multiple times of revision, because history includes, facts, figures, and a lot of events. Sometimes remembering those things is a bit of difficult. So multiple revisions required. So history is completely static. Okay, so you can pick up like NCERT's or Bipin Chandra book of the history and target to complete the entire history syllabus or the book, let's say within one month or 1.5 months. So this is the way you should target yourself. Once you complete the history, then you switch to geography. Once you complete the geography, then you switch to Indian polity. I'm talking about self-studies. Classes will go. So once the classes are completed, then after the class, before you go to sleep, then whatever the class discussion has been done, quickly revise those things. So revision of the classes is must. Okay. So the point is what I'm trying to say, that this is the way you must complete your syllabus. Give at least 1 month or 1.5 months time to each of the subject. You have 4 core subjects, so it will hardly take 6 months of time. 4 subject, if you are giving 1.5 months time to each, it will take 6 months of time. Okay, so in the 6 months of time, you are also giving time to your general studies. Classes are also going on, additional classes. Then you are also giving time to your optional paper. So for your self studies, I would recommend as a beginner, you should at least minimum you should give 2 hours to 3 hours to GS as well as to optional separately. Let's say you are giving initially total 5 hours, 2.5 hours to general studies and 2.5 hours to the optional paper, apart from classes. You do not include the class timing. Class timing is separate. I'm talking about the self studies. So initially target to have a minimum of 4 to 5 hours of study. Initially I'm talking about. And once, let's say you target that for the month of June, every day I will devote myself minimum 4 hours of the study, plus in the morning time, you might spend 1 hour or 1.5 hour or 2 hour time for the newspaper reading. That is a separate one. Then next month, you increase that out from 4 hours, you increase to 6 hours. You promise yourself that yes, in this month of July, I will prepare for all of these subjects, whatever subject you choose, that I will give at least 6 hours of time for the self-studies. The next month, you try to increase that number of hours, that another 1 hour or another 2 hours, you increase that. So when you do it, automatically there is a body clock. Do you understand what is a body clock? What is a body clock? Body clock, like,
Sir, the
all of
body
us, we know. Yes.
Sir, the body
Yes.
is situated in that position so that we can do the work in routine time, sir.
Yes. No, you might have observed that normally what happens, if we do not have the habit of waking up in the early morning, so we put up like alarm at, all of a sudden we are fired than in the previous night, and we put up like 4 a.m. in the morning, then once again 4:30, then 5 a.m., 6 and 6:30, 7 and 8, 7:38. After so much of alarm rings, we are also not able to wake up. But what is a body clock? Body clock is essentially important to adjust your body according to the work you do. Just simple example, if I'll give you, let's say, for example, if you're walking, somehow 2 to 3 days, you have skipped your lunch regularly. Let's say you take your lunch at 1 p.m. Because of some work, maybe continuously, you are not able to take lunch at 1 p.m., but you are taking lunch at 4 p.m. So your body now will get the information that no, you will feel hunger not at 1 p.m. but at 4 p.m. So that is how you're adjusting your body according to the event. So similarly, here the body clock is also important, because in this examination you have to be mentally fit. Okay, mentally fit means what? You cannot take stress. Okay, so I would suggest that with all this preparation, at least do some physical exercise, because with the blood circulations and everything, you will feel fresh. Okay, maybe in the evening time, just go nowadays the lockdown is going on, but at least do anything, physical exercise, or maybe some yoga, anything, whatever you can do, just to make your body much more healthier. Then out of this 24 hours, remember all of you one thing: the topper who has topped the exam, all India rank, every topper had the 24 hours. You also have 24 hours. If they have topped the exam, they are not extraordinary people. They are also like you all. But what they have done, they have prepared more than those who could not clear this exam. Isn't it? And it is not only how much time you prepare, it is also equally important what is the quality of preparation. You must have seen sometimes if we are not in a mood to read, just forcefully if you are sitting and you will be looking at one particular page, spend 2 hours and you will be thinking of someone else, then ultimately the 3 hours and 4 hours is gone. But there is not a single paragraph or not a single chapter you have studied about. So what matters the most is quality of preparation. If you are sitting for 1 hour or 2 hour or 3 hour, according to your capacity, because there is no fixed timetable that how much time you should give to only yourself. It depends. Okay, some people they can just read for half an hour and they can gain a lot of knowledge. But some people they need, let's say, same amount of knowledge, they might need 1.5 hour or 2 hour time. So that is where is the importance required, the quality of study. So if you are thinking that this subject is not interested to me, then you should probably give more emphasis, isn't it? Because somehow if you like or if you do not like a subject, you have to read it. So to all of you, this is how you should make your timetable. You have I'm just making a summary out of it. You have approximately 12 months of time period for the entire UPSC. If I'm cutting down the preparation mode of the prelims of 2 months, where you have to prepare for the CSAT practices something, and as well as the MCQs practices, then you are having approximately 10 months of time. And out of this 10 months of time, start preparing for your GS as well as optional. Apart from the classes, spend minimum 5 hours of time. As a beginning, I'm talking about minimum of time separately. Let's say 2.5 hours for the GS and 2.5 hours for the optional. That depends on you. If you want to increase it, that depends on you. Or if you are working professional and you are not able to spend 5 hours of time, give it 3 hours. But what matters the most is this examination. It's like there is a famous. Then out of this 24 hours hour of time, you calculate whatever time you have. Maybe you are going to college or maybe you are working professional, so you deduct those times. How much in reality you can give to this preparation, you divide it and follow that process diligently. Okay, see, I understand this preparation is mechanical. What do you mean by mechanical? Every morning you wake up, open book, okay, go for your normal routine, have breakfast, have lunch, again read, in the evening join classes, again read, sleep, repeat. So this sometimes might feel frustrating, but again I'm telling you, this is the war winning over you. It's checking of your mentality. Okay, so have faith on you, nothing to worry about it. If somebody is saying that, oh, Sarma ji ka beta ka ho gaya, aapka kyun nahi hua? That's fine, no problem. If somebody is saying that my friend has got a job with, let's say, 20 lakhs of package, that's fine. Okay, we cannot compare ourselves to others because everybody has their own journey, isn't it? So we just need to enjoy the journey. That is how I think you should look at your life. And UPSC is not the end of life.